Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolfe.
We had some light snow across the state line last night into the early hours of this morning, and while it wasn't a whole lot, we still had some reports from across the region, including the Rockford Airport coming up with 1.3 inches of snow in Mount Carroll, just under an inch. Prairie Grove, an inch of snow. Algonquin with an inch and a half, as well as Amboy, DeKalb, and Sandwich in DeKalb County getting over 2 inches of snow. And that's kind of showing the focus where the higher snow amounts remained off to the south and to the southeast, which is a matter of fact where some of the additional snow showers have been going on even over these last few hours. Some of those lighter snow showers remaining near or south of Interstate 80 and even near the Interstate 88 corridor in DeKalb County, going into portions of Kane County as well, just out of the state line area. But some of those lighter flurries still persisting over many portions of the state line, even late into the evening as well. We are still seeing a few of those flakes flying, not a whole lot of them, but still a couple of them showing up there with our SkyTrack camera overlooking Rochelle. Although notice the sidewalk not necessarily getting covered with any additional snow from what has been falling, so not expecting any significant accumulations here into the evening. Temperatures, though, still sitting in the low 30s right now. 30 degrees in DeKalb, 31 in Rochelle and in Rockford, picking up those light snow showers or even a few snow flurries still into the evening as well. Terry, one of our weather watchers from Genoa, reporting a temperature of 30 degrees along with a dew point of 29 and 1.2 inches of snowfall from him earlier today as well. The light snow does persist just a little bit longer here into the evening and overnight hours tonight, but overall still drier conditions for the majority of the overnight hours and even going into tomorrow afternoon. Then we actually might see just a little bit of clearing before clouds start to fill back in from the south and the southwest, especially as we get into Monday and Monday afternoon. This all ahead of our next weather system that will start to bring us some additional snow showers as we get into Monday night and especially as we get into Tuesday. This is our next weather system we're still looking at, still quite a ways away, with water vapor imagery showing a significant amount of moisture, especially dropping down out of California off to the south and the southwest. That weather system continuing to work its way across the plains over these next few days, bringing us some significant winter weather, especially as we get into the early part of the week. So let's talk about this significant weather system as it works its way in. We do have two kind of rounds that'll be working their way through. The first of which coming Monday night going into Tuesday morning, bringing accumulating and even possibly some heavy wet snow to the region, but the majority of the heaviest totals going to remain near or even south of Interstate 80, possibly into even central Illinois. However, there is still a chance for that accumulating snow across a broader area that does include the majority of the state line. The second round comes in as we get into Tuesday afternoon, especially going into the evening and possibly lingering into Wednesday morning. This is going to bring the more significant weather impacts with potentially hazardous travel to some areas, with possibly even several inches of snow falling over a very narrow corridor that may include portions of the state line. The highest chance for that accumulating in very heavy wet snow going to be centered fairly close to the state line. There are still some remaining uncertainties, though. While we are gaining that confidence in the system and its potential impacts, there are still those uncertainties that include the exact storm track, as well as our very marginal thermal profile. That temperature is going to be very, very close to that freezing mark, so even a shift of just a few hundred miles or so may end up spelling huge differences in our forecast going forward. As a result, that's why we don't know exactly where that rain-snow line is going to set up, which may end up hindering some of our forecasts as far as where our snow totals are going to be. So there are still many of those uncertainties, but even as we look out to the west, a winter storm watch across portions of Iowa, Missouri, into Nebraska, and into Kansas as well. Likely over the next 24 to 36 hours that we will see additional watches and warnings issued downstream, possibly even for portions of the state line. That significant winter weather possibly working its way in Monday night going into Tuesday. Tuesday afternoon and evening going to be the most hazardous travel, more than likely, for some portions of the state line. And then temperatures remaining a little bit cooler for the back half of the week, with additional snow chances as we get into Thursday, Friday, and even going into next weekend.